Hi, welcome to GAMEpoch, the show where I play through the history of video games in the order of their release, starting with Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo, and now I am playing through The Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo, and I am roughly halfway through the 7th dungeon, which is the second to last regular dungeon, third to last dungeon overall. I am now just trying to get the last few rupees I need to get, spend 100 rupees to get the... Oh, I've already got it. The bomb upgrade, the last one of the game. There's only 2, and that'll up me to... Oh, okay. That'll up me to 16, which is so nice. That'll make it, make my bombs last a lot longer than they currently do, even at 12. I mean, double what I started with. That's super nice. There's, like, no reason you... And I just remembered that I said I was gonna not explore new areas and just get rupees, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep exploring this place because I'm not gonna finish the place, and I'm gonna get enough rupees. I already have enough, so... I decided against that. Possibly without realizing it. Another of the Dig Doggers. Very interesting. Anyway. Maybe I was supposed to come here first. I've got bombs! Can I bomb up? I'm going to see. I'm very glad that to this point I have not yet been eaten by a like and have my magic shield eaten, because that sucks. I mean, do you see the enemies I've been given to deal with in this dungeon? Most of them, like the worst, are the boomerang moblins, and they're not a big deal. It's just not tough. It's so strange how the one before this was so much harder. It's just kind of crazy. Anyway, I should conserve my bombs a little bit until I get there. So one thing I do want to bring up, I have mentioned a few times about the translations of these. Yeah, I'm there. So there is a great... Oh, here it is. There's a secret in the tip of the nose. Is that referring to this dungeon? Yeah, probably. That must be. This must be some kind of a... Like, I think it's just the giant head of like a salamander or a lizard or something like that. A lot of these maps seem to use a lizard-based thing, which is kind of interesting, but anyway. Now I'm gonna go get my bombs! My bomb upgrades. Oh, that's exciting. Is there anything up? I'll just check. Nope. And I'm out of bombs again. So I'm actually not gonna have any more need for rupees at this point, except for as ammo and to, you know, get potions. So I'm good to go. This is great. Having 200 rupees for both of the bomb upgrades is actually one of the more interesting stressors for this, for me at least. But here I go. I bet you'd like to have more bombs! Sucker! And he's gone. Alright, so I think that's most of this dungeon for me. I'm going to explore over here really quick before I move on to the Grumble. And I'll just bomb this really quick. I may have done that already. You guys might call me out for that. Whatever. I could go over there, but oh, I should bomb this area because there's probably things. So, as far as the translation stuff with these games that were localized to North America from Japan. Oh, I guess there's nothing in here. That's strange. I wonder if that was... I can't remember. Maybe there was a key that I got in here. I wish I was paying more attention. Anyway. There is an excellent resource that I use all the time. From a guy who is just a really cool guy. His name is Clyde Mandelin. Shoutouts to Clyde Mandelin. Hey. We've never met, but I think you're really cool. And I love the work you've done. He goes by the moniker Tomato online, or Mato for short. Grumble. Here's the Grumble. Let me give you your meat. Take the meat. Take it. Okay, and, he speaks seriously fluent Japanese at this point. And there's the map. Yay, I've got it. And has gone to do professional translation work for anime and video games. So he's, you know, professional grade translator, and he's really good at what he does. Very well localized, good work. he is a fanatic Earthbound fan. And Earthbound, of course, comes from the Japanese series called Mother. So he's a fanatic Mother fan. Yay! Rupees! That's fun. So yeah, okay, so check out the map. You could probably tell that if you look at it, that dark spot in the middle is an eye, and then the upper right and upper left kind of open up to look kind of like a mouth like that. So if that's the case, then that means the upper part must have a tip, a nose at its tip. So I'm betting that I can't get to that little area below the eye section unless I get to the tip. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm gonna go here really quick. So, anyway, Tomato, or Clyde, or whatever you want to refer to him as, he made his mark on the gaming community by working with a ROM hacker. ROMs, of course, if you don't know, being the term for a game file that's been ripped off of the cartridge and put onto a computer so that an emulator can read it and treat it like it's been plugged into a console. It is illegal to play ROMs that you have not dumped off of a cartridge that you own and done it yourself. Although, from what I understand, even that is in like a legal gray area where it's not explicitly allowed. So it's kind of tough to say if that's really legal or not. But at this point, nobody's gonna really push for that because everybody does it and it's such a harmless practice to do because I mean, most people who grab ROMs also are the same people that will download them on the PlayStation Network or on Xbox Live or on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console and the 3DS Virtual Console. So it's like, and it's the same thing with downloading music, which is why the whole campaign against it seems completely ridiculous. Because there is just pirating these things doesn't do nearly as much damage as a lot of these industries and executives would worry about. There are other major causes for why they're not making as much money. So you could have just skipped this, but check it out. It's a red candle as compared to the blue. The red, the only difference, besides its color, is you can use the red over and over and over and over again in the same room. You don't have to leave the room to use it again. That's awesome. That's great. It's just a nice little bonus, but you could have skipped it and not used it. There's no requirement for it. But then again, you may also have gone through the whole game without realizing that you needed to buy the blue candle, and so you just wandered all those dark rooms, like, just lost, and like, where do I go? Don't know why I did that with an Arnold voice, but whatever. Yay, another one of these guys. I love fighting those. They're so much fun. I'm gonna go over here just to check. Oh, I can't! Well, I want to go back! Anyway, this is just another one of those desert rooms that only goes one place. So strange. Anyway, I'll go back over here and I'll head up there. By the way, you'll notice, I think it's interesting that the rooms that don't show up on the map also do not show up on this map in here. It's kind of interesting choice that they did it that way. I should have gone up there in the first place, but oh well. Okay, coming over here, heading up. Can I go in there? Yes, good. And again, you'll notice that I haven't used all the keys that are in my possession, and I haven't had to. And keys just carry over from dungeon to dungeon. I mean, also, you could buy keys if you've got plenty of money and you decide that, I don't want to have to wander through this dungeon that I'm having a hard time going through. I'll just buy keys to get through that spot that I think I need to get through. Which is also another interesting mechanic, is it was set up in a way where you could actually just skip through sections that you found to be difficult. Did I really just waste all this time for a nothing room? Go Dan, that's awesome. Alright. That is the one downside of being an adventurer at heart that wants to explore everywhere. If you have the misfortune of not choosing to go in a fairly useless room ahead of time when you've got the choice of moving on in the dungeon, you've got like 2 areas that you could go and you haven't been either, and you choose one and it ends up being the way through the rest of the dungeon. And the other was the one you really wanted to go, because then you would have just quickly found the end of that dead end and been like, okay, well, I'm done with this, so I can move on and know that I'm not missing anything. I'm gonna have to backtrack to get there because I have an insatiable OCD appetite to find every room in the place that I want to explore, because I'm just crazy with that, where I gotta see the whole area and I want to explore everything, and I want to have a complete map, and I want to know I've been everywhere, and I want to think I've missed everything, and I'll panic if that's the case, and... Okay, I'm done. So... Alright, now we're in so much... Wow, there are 3 of them in this dungeon? Also, I think this dungeon has more rooms than the previous one. It certainly seems that way. Which is very interesting. Also, kind of to note, one of these dig doggers split into just 1. The other 2 both split into... I think they both split into 3. Which is, you know, an interesting thing. Okay, do I have to kill all of you, or can I just bomb this? Because... Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm sorry, I may get a key from you, but I don't care. Why am I apologizing for sparing them? That's a very strange thing to apologize for. So, you'll notice there's nothing in here. What is going on? But I look like I'm in the tip of the nose, and then you walk toward the... Oh! There's wall masters. Ah! Freaking stupid, evil, cruel, scary, terrible. Ah! So yeah, you have to fight those, and then eventually they just stop showing up. So it's like, well, okay, am I done? Well, what do I do? And you wander around pushing blocks. But this one just geometrically seems interesting that you should push it. And yep, there it is. And you couldn't push it, as you noticed I tried. You couldn't push it until you had killed all the floor masters. This is the only room, one of the only rooms in the whole game where getting a stopwatch sucks. Like, legitimately sucks, where you've got to walk out and come back in because you'll never get through it again. Because the floor masters are just completely frozen wherever they are. They will not come visit you if the stopwatch is active. So that's obnoxious. And that has happened to me. That has absolutely happened to me. It's real awful, but that's the case. I've been there. Okay, so I'm heading to the right, and yep, this is the rest of it. Okay. We are approaching the end of this game. So this is great. What's in here? Oh, it's this guy again. But he's the same as the original. What's the point? Is he any harder? Not really. I still killed him in 2 hits. Isn't that weird that they did that? The boss for the last one was Goma that dies in 1 shot from the arrow. The boss of this one is the boss from the first dungeon. I mean, look at them deliberately throwing things in here to totally mess with your expectations. The last dungeon was super challenging, just trying to get through the madness of the enemies and worries that you're going to get your shield eaten and you're going to get constantly stuck by the bubble so you can't use your sword to fight off the things that are trying to steal you or your stuff or kill you or whatever. Then you get to the end and boom, 1 shot, as long as you know what you're doing. This one, it's long, it's drawn out, you might be stuck with the tip of the nose, and you get to the end and it's super easy boss. It's just crazy how they do that, but it's kind of mad genius brilliant at the same time. I really like that. I think it's cool. I also enjoy when it's easy. But anyway. Alright, that's the end of this video for now, so I'm going to go ahead and pause, and we'll continue this in the next dungeon. Because, yeah, that's really all I've got. I don't have to do anything else, I'm going to head to the next dungeon. And I've already shown you where it is, so I just got to head down there. So I'll pause this until I've gotten there, and I will see you then. Thanks for tuning into GAMEpoch. This is MystikDan signing out. Bye!